I'm going to take you through the using frequency tables notes. At the end of this, you should be able to say, I can calculate the mean, median, and mode from a frequency table. Okay, so we're just going to take a look at an example, and then away we go. Okay, example 3. The table shows the number of people who order goat cheese beet swirl ice cream per day over the month of April. Find the mean, median, and mode of the data. So this is a little different than what we've been looking at before, because this not only gives you like say on the first day somebody ordered 3, there was 3 orders, and the second day there was 5, the third day there was 1, so forth and so on. This gives you that there were 2 times nobody ordered beet swirl ice cream, goat cheese beet swirl ice cream. 4 different times there was 1 order, 7 different times there was 2, 7 different times there was 3, so forth and so on. Okay, so that's what a frequency table does. It just kind of takes it, instead of writing 30 numbers out, it writes all the possible answers that you had. So like the most that on one day there was, like one time 7 different people ordered the goat cheese beet swirl ice cream. So instead of writing all 30 of those numbers out, we've organized it a little bit nicer and easier in a frequency table. Okay, so one thing that you could do to make to go through and calculate the mean, median, and the mode is to make yourself a little table like this. So simply the same stuff here, just organized vertically instead of horizontally. So 0 orders, 2 frequency, 1 for frequency, so forth and so on. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to take the number of, we've got our orders and our frequency. So there were 2 different days where people ordered no goat cheese beet swirl ice cream here, right? So 0 times 2 is 0. So we didn't sell any. Okay, and then there were 4 different days where there was 1 order. So 1 times 4 gives us 4, right? And there were 7 days where 2 people ordered it. So that's 7 orders times 2 is 14. And we keep doing this on and on and on until we get to the end, right? So 3 times 7, 21. 4 times 5 is 20. 5 times 3 is 15. 6 times 1 is 6. 7 times 1 is 7. Okay, so these are the total number of beet swirl ice cream cones that we ordered. Okay, so now what we can do is let's add this all up to get our total number of products ordered, right? So we don't need to add the 0, so we 4 plus 14 and 21 and 20 and 15 and 6 and 7, right? And we get a grand total of 67, except for this is supposed to be 20. So just a little quick trick for you is if you mess something up like I just did, you can go back and push enter. And then we can go back and we can do second insert and now put the 2 in there. So if we do that, that should give us a total of 87 total products sold in the month of May. So 87 cones there. Now the cumulative frequency here is, after I finish all this, the cumulative frequency is our total frequency that we have so far. So we had 2 different times there were no orders. Okay, we had 4 different days that there was 1 order. So 2 plus 4, cumulative frequency is 6, right? And then 6 plus 7 is 13. 13 plus 7 more is 20. 20 plus 5 is 25. Ooh, that did not show up right. 25 plus 3 is 28. 28 plus 1 is 29. 29 plus 1 is 30. And so our cumulative frequency now here is at 30 for our total 30 days here. Where this is going to come in handy is when we're trying to find out the median. Okay, so let's figure out our mean, right? So again, we sold a total for the mean. We sold a total of 87 over 30 days. So we'll simply take 87 divide by 30, and our average number of of those cones sold per day was 2.9 of these cones sold every day. All right, so that's our mean. Our median, what we want to do is there were 30 total days, right? So if we take 30, we want to find the middle, divided by 2, gives us 15, okay? So what that means is we're going to, if we line these all up, we're going to have 15 here on the bottom half and 15 here on the top half. So we want to come up with, since that's an even number, we want to come up with these two numbers here. And then we'd want to find the average of that. So that's the 15th number and that's the 16th number. Okay, so we want to find the 15th and 16th number. Now, if we were to line these all up, if we were to write these all out, the first two are going to be zeros, right? So here's what I'm going to do, just to hopefully make this make a little bit more sense. I'm going to actually stop this and I'm going to write these all out, all 30 numbers, which I'm not suggesting that you do, but I think it'll help you understand a little bit better how to figure out this median here, okay? Okay, so here's all the numbers all listed out. And right down here, that breaks off the bottom 15 from the top 15. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to find the average of these two numbers here, which is 3 plus 3 over 2 is just going to give us the mean there has got to be 3, right? Now, instead of doing this, especially when you get a lot more numbers than just 30, because there's some problems out there, you're going to have 50 numbers, some you're going to have 150 numbers. So what you want to do, a little bit easier way to find the 15th and 16th number here is use this cumulative frequency graph here. So the first two numbers here are 0, right? Up through 6 is going to be all of our zeros and our ones, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 right here, okay? Up through 13. So what we want to do is we want to figure out where do the 15th and 16th numbers lie? So up the first 13 numbers are all going to be zeros, ones, and twos. So that's right here. So that means this is the 13th number right here. And then up through 20, so all the way out to here, this is the 20th number. So we know that between 13 and 20 is 15 and 16 are going to lie in there, right? Because we passed up 15 and 16 to get up to 20. So what the easy way to do this is go through here, up through 13, we haven't gotten to 15, 16 yet. Up to 20, we've gotten past 15 and 16. So then we know for sure that our median has to be 3 because that's where the 15th and 16th numbers are going to lie. Okay? Okay, hopefully that makes some sense. I know that's a little bit tricky, but way better than listing it all out here. Okay? And then the median. Oh, sorry, we just did the median. And mode, that's what I was trying to say. Mode. Remember, M and O is the most often. Which ones happen the most often? The highest frequency, so both 7. We have 2 7s here, so both 2 and 3. So it's called bimodal. 2 and 3 are the modes. Okay, if you end up with more than 2, there is no mode. But you can have one mode, you can have 2 modes, bimodal, but you can't officially have 3. It would just be no mode. Okay? Now, you can actually do all of this here on our scientific calculators or graphing calculator as well. So I'm going to show you how to do that really quick here, and then away we go. So what we want to do is we want to go into data. Okay, and now there's a bunch of weird data in here right now, and we don't want that. So what you want to do to clear any old numbers out is push data again, and it'll tell you clear list 1, clear list 2, clear list 3, and you can actually go down to the next one and you can clear all. But really you could just have cleared list 1 because there's only data in list 1. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put all this data into these 2 lists. So basically we're going to copy it down just like what we have here. Okay, so we've got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, push enter after every one, 6, and 7, right? So that's all of our data in list 1. Now we're going to go over here to list 2, and we're going to enter in all the frequencies. So that's 2, 4, 7, 7, 5, 3, 1, and 1. Okay? So this calculator here is going to tell us all this same info here. Let's see if we can move it over so we can get everything. 2.9. We'll just have to remember that one. Oh, I guess we can still almost get there. All right, so now once we have all our data in there, we're going to do second data, which is stat. You can see the stat up above there. So we do second data. Pretty much everything we're doing in here is just one variable because this really is just the number of orders. That's the only variable. Frequency is not a variable. It's just how many times those happened. This frequency table keeps us from having to write it out like this. So we're going to do one variable, stats. All the data that we have, all our order numbers is in list 1, okay? And then you go down here to FRQ, that's the frequency. So the frequency that we had was in list 2. So what we want to do is we want to move over here to list 2, push enter, and then push enter one more time for calculator. It's going to calculate, and it's going to give us N is 30. So we had 30 total frequency is our total on there. 2.9, as you can remember right there. 2.9 is the X with the bar. That's our mean. Okay, this other stuff here is going to be talking about standard deviation. And then EX, that's the sum, total sum. That's our product right there. That's that squared. And then what we're going to want to do is we're going to get down here. It's get the minimum, quartile 1. And then here's our median. Tells us our median is 3. So that's a way we can get the mean and the median. And then again, still the mode here is just looking at the total frequency. So just 2 and 3. Okay? So that's how you can also do it on the scientific calculator. There's also a way to do it on the graphing calculator, which there's a separate video for. Okay? If you have any questions on any of this, please feel free to ask in class.